Hello, Durud and Shalom, everyone. Look here, I'm with Goldie again. Goldie Kamari is here with us again. I told you I'll bring her back. Hi,
Oh,
Goldie.
hi,
Hi.
hello. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was checking something on my
uh,
X. I don't know if it was working or not, but no,
are,
hi everyone. You know what? I
mm,
literally just finished a live stream on my YouTube and on my X about half an hour ago, not even. And I'm back. I'm happy to be here. So a little
yeah.
surprised. So
So
if following me, if so people who are following me on YouTube and X and just finished watching that, then surprise, I'm back.
wait, so we are live on your YouTube channel as well, not just Atheist Republic, right? And we are
Yes.
live. Okay. Uh, yes, and we're also live on your X. So, guys, I'm gonna send Goldie's YouTube channel in the chat. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? And I'm gonna put it in the description after the show. Like while Goldie's speaking, I'm gonna go add it into the description as well. So, guys, make sure you search for her. It's Goldie Kamari. So you can see here's the link. Just go search for it. All right. So, Goldie, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about this insane article that came out by Haaretz, which is an Israeli publication. It's like this far left Israeli publication, not really taken very seriously in Israel, is my understanding. But they came out with this fake news article, basically claiming that those of us who support King Reza Pahlavi were all part of this AI operation that's funded by Israel, which is news to
Right.
me because I have been involved in, overthrowing the Islamic Republic, being an advocate for it, and of course supporting King Reza Pahlavi for over 10 years. And this is news to me. So this article is absolutely wild. I just spoke about it actually in my own live stream
Hmm.
earlier, and I went to the source of the publication. So this article quotes a study by Citizen Lab. I don't want to get too much into it right now, but it quotes a study by Citizen Lab. That study is publicly available on X. Anyone can read it. And at no point in that study did it ever mention anything about King Reza Pahlavi or the monarchy or anything like that. So for Haaretz to make that conclusion is absolutely wild and insane to me. And I'll leave it there. And yeah, back to you, Armin.
Yeah, actually, maybe let's look at this leftist guy, I think, or anti-Israeli guy, explained why they're so the anti-Pahlavi and anti-Israelis. They're just loving this. By the way, look at this. They're sharing it everywhere. They're saying like, "We told you so." Reza Pahlavis. All of these people are sharing this Haaretz article all over online. They're saying like, "Look, we knew that Reza Pahlavi's support in Iran is fake. These are just bots. These are just Israeli bots." And look, like, oh, look, Trita Parsi is celebrating this. All the people that we hate and all the people who are anti-Israel and anti-Pahlavi, they're just sharing it everywhere. But one of them I noticed was in English. So let's listen to this guy. Hold on.
A bombshell report just exposed the truth about the Israeli propaganda campaign for war and regime change on Iran. So the research group Citizen Lab and Haaretz just revealed how Israel used artificial intelligence and armies of fake social media accounts during the war to manipulate Iranians and try to push them into the streets.
Can you pause for a moment there? Can you pause?
Yeah,
I love how
yeah,
he said armies, right? Like he says Haaretz or Israel used armies of social media accounts, but when you look at the study itself, they only
right.
reveal like 50 accounts, right? So
Yeah, it's
already,
50.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
50.
yeah.
So already this video is like just complete and utter nonsense. Sorry, I just had to point that out. So yeah, just continue now.
Yeah. By the way, this guy is Nayak. This guy is Nayak. So this is why
Hmm.
he's saying all of these things. Yeah. So, by the way, for people who don't know what Nayak is, can you explain that to them?
Yeah, so NIAC is the National Iranian American Council. They're basically the Islamic regime lobby group in the United States. So they're funded by and work with the Islamic Republic to promote Islamic regime propaganda. And so, yeah, I guess this guy is a part of that. So that's why he's pushing this propaganda. Probably hasn't read the actual Citizen Lab study,
Yeah.
but has, he's definitely lying, right? Like this is how these Islamists operate. They just lie.
Yeah. So let's listen to his claim, and then we will respond to. We'll go over why this article is a bunch of bullshit, and why the study, the Citizen Lab study, was also bullshit.
Bombs on their heads. This network of fake accounts spread doctored AI videos, like one showing Israel's bombing of Evin prison, already a war crime, but showing Iranians supposedly rising up outside the prison. And then the videos in Persian urged people to rush to the prison and free prisoners, claiming that this war zone was safe for people. This network pushed other fabrications as well. They pushed images of riots, fake bank runs, even an AI-generated video of beloved musicians like Shervin Hajipour performing Baraye, with the lyrics twisted into calls for a wartime uprising. These were manufactured lies designed to destabilize a society already reeling from war and repression and sanctions, and trying to disguise it as a grassroots uprising. And this online manipulation isn't just being imposed on Iran. It's the same playbook used by Israel and its lapdogs here in the US and around the world to sway public opinion, to pressure decision makers, and to target Iranians and Iranian Americans with smears and attacks to silence anti-war voices. As Haaretz reports, many of these efforts were centered around promoting the son of the deposed former Shah, Reza Pahlavi, as this Ahmad Chalabi-esque figure who will waltz into Iran after the bombs drop. Look, real power that can challenge authoritarianism and challenge hegemony, wherever it thrives, comes from people organizing. And those who want to cling to power or impose their authority over other people, whether it's the Islamic Republic, the Shah's old guard, or powers like Israel and the US, they can't organize, so they resort to violence and silence, bombs and bots, to manipulate us, to silence us, and to get their way. And it's part of this broader strategy that they're now undertaking to promote war, regime change, collapsing Iran, dragging in the United States, and selling us on this idea that starving and sanctioning and bombing Iranians is somehow a path to freedom. So I encourage you to read these reports and then join us in standing up to this propaganda and standing up to this push for war.
Well, I encourage him to read the report because I think he didn't, based on what he's saying. So let me just summarize let me see if we're getting this right. Okay. So you read the article and the source that it uses. So the source that it uses is a study by, what was it called?
Citizen Lab.
Citizen Lab, yeah. So Citizen Lab is making the claim that the Haaretz uses the study on Citizen Lab as a source. Citizen Lab is claiming that they have found 50 accounts that during the 12-day war, they were making some posts encouraging people to come out and protest, and they were also using some fake AI videos, right? The Citizen Lab report doesn't mention a single thing about these accounts having anything to do with Reza Pahlavi. But Haaretz uses that as a source to suggest that these are Israeli paid bots to support Reza Pahlavi, even though the source that they link to does not mention that once. And even Citizenship Lab, what it claims, it doesn't say that these are bots funded by Israel. It says perhaps these are bots funded by Israel. It doesn't even make the claim that this is certain. And the reason why it says perhaps is because of this dumb reasoning that during the 12-day war, when bombs were, when the Evin prison was bombed by Israel, one of these accounts made an AI generated fake video showing the door of the Evin prison blowing up. And they said that was a really fast reaction. and it took them such low amount of time to make that AI video, and that's why they decided that this must be funded by Israel. There, Goldie, you read that research. Was there any other reason why they thought that this is funded by Israel? That was basically it, and also
Yeah,
some
I mean,
pro-Israeli message. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I couldn't find much conclusive evidence. I mean, the study itself was very bizarre, um, especially since we as Iranians, we know that the Islamic Republic itself spends upwards of $1 billion a year on its Ministry of Cyber Warfare, or whatever they call it in Farsi. So the Islamic Republic is known to have troll accounts and bot accounts, and also, they pay people and they pay influencers, and they're the ones who spread all this propaganda and misinformation. They do it inside of the country, and they do it outside of the country as well. And this is something that we as Iranians were very familiar with, and we know that they do this. What we also
right,
know is that the Islamic Republic has a history of infiltrating legitimate movements in order to cast doubt on the legitimacy of the movement. And one of the main targets of the Islamic Republic is the Iranian opposition, are the constitutional monarchists, and the people who support King Reza Pahlavi, because the Islamic Republic sees Pahlavi as the biggest threat to their existence, and the only person who can overthrow the Islamic Republic is King Reza Pahlavi, because he has the support and trust of the majority of Iranians, and that is statistically proven, and there's scientifically backed evidence scientific evidence to back that up. So I can certainly see a scenario where you have the Islamic Republic infiltrating the official legitimate Iranian opposition in order to destabilize and to cast doubt and to spread misinformation. But I took a look at the study, and I took a look at the screenshots that they use from those accounts. And I spoke about this in my own live stream earlier. Those accounts, the hashtags that they used, I've never seen before. The messaging that they used and the hashtags, whether in English or in Farsi, were not hashtags or messaging used by the legitimate Iranian opposition. So right there, you cannot link those accounts to King Reza Pahlavi, and the study itself does not do so. And so for Haaretz to make that claim is just incredibly wild. And then once Haaretz makes that claim, then you have these, Nayakis and these Islamic regime people who are now taking that messaging, pushing it even further. And then what's interesting, and I'll stop here, but what's interesting is I just saw now the Islamic Republic itself is using messaging from the Haaretz article and publishing it on billboards inside of Iran, and that messaging is coming out now. So all this is linking back to the Islamic Republic, in my view.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, I think many people know, but Haaretz is this leftist, Israeli, but anti-Israeli publication that has sided so many times over and over again with terrorists, with Islamic Republic, with Hamas fighters. Israel has a freedom of expression, and that's why they get to publish whatever they want. But because they're Israelis, a lot of people think that, oh, look, Israel has admitted this and that. Like so many non-Israelis think that this is just because a publication is Israeli, then this is the position of Israel, and they don't know that Haaretz is hated so much in Israel itself. This is just freedom of expression that they're misusing as a way to spread. And another thing people need to know about Haaretz, that so many times anti-Israelis and anti-Semites, when they spread their poison against Israel and Jews around the world, you could link many of the things that they're saying back to Haaretz. So Haaretz is fueling anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli positions worldwide, because so many of the information that people use against Israel comes out of Haaretz. I mean, you could actually see it so many times when you wake up and you look at. I follow a lot of anti-Semites and a lot of anti-Israeli people, And when I wake up and I look at so many of the posts, I'm like, oh my God, why are they today? All of them are saying this, what happened? And I like many times it goes back to a Haaretz article. So that's what we got some super chats. I will respond to them soon, but I just want to make sure everyone understands what's going on, right? So Haaretz is basically using 50 accounts to try to completely dismiss the huge support that Prince Reza Pahlavi has for Iranian people, trying to make it seem like this is made up by Israel and these are all fake. It's not only is 50 accounts. One of the accounts, by the way, has one of the accounts that they're referring to has actually been posting support for Khamenei. So I don't
Yeah.
understand why. Yeah, so I don't understand why they think that these are Pahlavi supporting accounts, given that this is what they're posting, which is bizarre.
It's
But
well, I mean, this
uh,
is how these
yeah,
people operate, right? Like they're lying through their teeth, and
yeah,
they expect people to just eat it up, right? But again, like
mm,
these people, um, these Islamists and these leftists, their audience is not Iranians, right? Like, so the guy that made that video, um, for the National Iranian American Council, his messaging, like his intended audience is not Iranians because we know that it's BS. His intended audience are the non-Iranians, right? Like he's trying to draw in the anti-Semites and the conspiracy theorists and whatever by saying, look at this. It's, Israel did this, right? But those images you showed up, those are from like Iranians themselves who went and did a deep dive and saw that all of
right.
this is nonsense, right? So this is just part of the propaganda network of the Islamic Republic.
Yeah. By the way, given that I have been a supporter of Prince Reza Pahlavi for a while, and we're being accused of being a bot, I just want to demonstrate really quickly. Hold on, let me see if I could do this. Do you think I could pull this off? Hold on.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So I just verified that at least I'm not a bot. So there we go. Done.
I'm still
There's
on the
that.
fence. I still haven't decided if I'm a bot or not.
Okay. All right. And then also, like, one thing else regarding 50 accounts being used to dismiss this entire movement, I just want to point out that every single scientifically collected data from Iranian people shows Reza Pahlavi to be ahead of everybody with a huge distance from everyone else. So, for example, this was a study in 2023, and you could actually look at this organization. There are very, very credible organizations with no political biases and no political ties to any groups in Iran, either for or against. And they have been, this is peer reviewed, and they constantly get cited as a reputable source. This is the ERF.I, and they did a study, and this is an independent source. And if you look at the study that they conducted to see the support of Iranian people for different political officials, you can see Khamenei is less than 1%, almost 0.5%, and Reza Pahlavi's support is almost 80%, 79.7%. Okay,
And
so,
that
and
and
again,
that number, I
yeah,
guarantee you, is much higher today. I would say it's closer to 85 or 90% because that study was from 3 years ago. And his support has increased significantly since then.
yeah. I mean, even if you just go with 80%, I mean, even if you go with the other polls, every single one of those polls they differ on what the support is, but every single data collected shows Reza Pahlavi is number one with a huge margin from everyone else. There's not a single poll that shows otherwise. But they, instead of referring to scientifically collected data, they're going based on 50 accounts who are 50 accounts that haven't actually even been shown to be posting about anything. Like, these are 50 accounts that don't post anything in support of Reza Pahlavi. So how is that evidence that Israel is supporting fake accounts, funding fake accounts to support Reza Pahlavi, even though the same accounts that you're referring to are not even posting about Reza Pahlavi. Like, I mean, I don't know. Seems insane. And even their connection to Israel is based on, like, again, let's evaluate this and the citizenship lab argument. They're like, they are saying that these are Israeli accounts probably because it took them only an hour after the Israeli bombing of Evin prison to post, to come up with an AI video that shows Evin prison door exploding. But I don't know. Have you been? I've made AI videos. It doesn't take 1 hour. Their evidence that it was that the reaction time was so small, and given how small the reaction time was, this must be Israeli funded. Like, have they never used Sora? Like, when the 12-day war happened, Sora was out. It takes like 15 minutes max. If you could upload at the door of Evin prison on Sora and then write a prompt and then press enter, how long does it take these days to get an AI video like that out? You could just upload the picture and put in the prompt, make the door explode, and then watch what happens. In 15 minutes, you could, less than 15 minutes, honestly, you could create a video like that. How is that evidence for these accounts being Israeli funded? I don't understand. It's so bizarre. The whole thing seems, maybe they're bots. They are acting like bots, but I don't know.
I mean, it does seem bizarre. I mean, again, like, we already know that there is a whole army of bots and trolls out there that's funded by the Islamic Republic, and their goal is to spread misinformation. I find the timing of this study to be very interesting. I would be curious to know who is behind the Citizen Lab study and what prompted it. Because, I mean, you want to talk about fake accounts and bots and AI. I mean, that's what the Islamic Republic has been doing for so long, right? I mean, they're still constantly putting out fake, news and AI videos and all that. No one ever comments on that. But again, the wildest thing here is that you see a direct connection between this study, which then Haaretz uses to claim that Israel is funding Reza Pahlavi, to then the Islamic regime accounts in the United States claiming that the Iranian opposition is fake, to then you see Haaretz itself is like, and images are now coming out, and I can send one to you if you like. I just saw this on X. You are now seeing images coming out of Iran where, in less than like 48 hours, the Islamic Republic is now quoting Haaretz on billboards in Iran, right? So
send me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I liked one. Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll find it on X. And I'll send it to you. Yeah, like you're literally seeing Haaretz is now being quoted, in the Islamic Republic itself. So to me, if anything, oh, here we go. I just found it. I'll send it to you in the chat here, in the stream chat. So look at that.
Is this real? What the hell? That's crazy. The Islamic Republic quoting Haaretz. Okay, we have to be careful. I want to make sure this is not a bot. This is not AI. Okay, so it says Haaretz, Israel باخت حقیقت رو باید گفت. So he's saying Haaretz said Israel has lost. We should tell the truth. Oh, Haaretz, we lost. Truth must be told. Okay, that's crazy. The Islamic Republic is quoting Haaretz. That's crazy if it's true.
We still have to verify if that's true or not, but I mean, that account typically posts.
Oh, is it a trusted account?
I mean, usually, but I mean, you never know. Like, it could still, I mean, they could still make a mistake as well. But it's not beyond the realm of possibility. I mean, the Islamic Republic has done that in the past, right? They have taken quotes from Western articles that attack Israel and attack King Reza Pahlavi, and they've put it on billboards inside of the country. So, I mean, this is par for the course for when it comes to the Islamic Republic.
Let me quickly read the super chats, and I'm going to tell you something interesting. I want to see what your opinion is. I'm here saying, love, heart, I'm Israel Chai, Javid Shah, free Canada, free Canada. Okay, thank you. Yeah, guys, if you want to free Canada, you need Goldie, because Goldie is very active in Canada fighting the Islamic takeover of Canada. So go support Goldie, go support her YouTube channel. And then Kimia is saying, do you think the Islamic Republic funded Haaretz for this? If not, where else is the motivation coming from? I try not to say things unless I have an evidence for. Haaretz has enough motivations to write articles like this, because the motivation comes from it being against the government, and this article, the current, Netanyahu's government. And basically what it's doing is that it's attacking one of the ministers, one of the of Netanyahu right now, because she is, what's her name?
Gila Gamliel.
Yes, we said it again. I always mispronounce her
Gila
name.
Gamliel.
Gila Gamliel. She is supporting Reza Pahlavi a lot, and this is Haaretz's way of attacking Netanyahu's government. Do you think that's the motivation? I think that's the motivation, basically. I think that's.
I mean, yeah, like, well, Haaretz is also, they've also written articles about Hamas terrorists in the past, and they've called them freedom fighters, not terrorists. So it is a very, very, leftist, far left radical publication.
Yeah, I mean, if you're far left, you are going to be anti-Reza Pahlavi. Okay, so, and that's basically in line with their ideology. Nail Bunny is saying it's Mariam Rajavi, who has 3 Twitter accounts. Okay, okay. Well, thank you for that, Nail Bunny. And then let me actually run this by you and let me know if you agree with this or not. I think all of this could, again, I'm not sure, be a reaction to this, to the new, to this. Do you agree? What do you think?
100%. 100%. I truly believe that we are getting close to the end of the Islamic Republic, and the closer we get, the more desperate these people will become. So to me, this is just another desperate attack by the Islamic Republic and those who are affiliated with the Islamic Republic. But the good news here is that because Haaretz is like this trashy, far left tabloid publication, no one takes it seriously, right? Even people in Israel don't take it seriously. And one of the, I guess one of the benefits, or one of the, positive outcomes of this fake news story by Haaretz against both King Reza Pahlavi and Israel itself, is that anyone who reads it realizes how nonsense it is, and so it's probably the opposite, right? Because whatever they're posting is fake news, so people will most likely think of it as the opposite. And it's also exposed all of the anti-Semites on the far left who claim that they're fighting for Iran, claim that they're for human rights, blah, 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 but they're promoting and pushing this fake news article and spreading that blood libel about Israel, right? Like how, oh, Israel is behind everything, Israel's promoting everything. So to me, really what this article does is it just exposes the anti-Semites on both the left and the right.
Yes, I mean, to your point, I think this attack on Reza Pahlavi will actually benefit his side, because because we are not trying to gain the support of Islamic forces and the far left. We're trying to gain the international support of people who are also support Israel. Like, who is this Haaretz article going to convince against Reza Pahlavi? Other anti-imperialists, anti-Zionists, anti-Semites? Well, we were never going to have them to begin with. What this does is that it convinces more people who support Israel. It shows to Israelis and supporters of Israel that all the people who are celebrating any anti-Pahlavi content are also anti-Israel. So it actually helps us gain the support of people who support Israel, because we could tell them, look, the people who are anti-Israel are also anti-Pahlavi. So the best person to support in Iran is Reza Pahlavi, is Prince Reza Pahlavi. By the way, let me explain to people what this is. This is Prince Reza Pahlavi's new project, which is new website, which is called iranropasmigirim.com. I could put the link to it in the chat, right? And this is their new center for mobilizing people against the Islamic Republic. So, and so how the Nufti is mostly their mobilization their project with regards to foreign powers like United States and Israel and everyone else. This is more for Iranian people and mobilizing the Iranian people in the same direction against the Islamic Republic. So, by the way, you can see that this actually just came out just, I think, 2 days ago. It already has 700,000 people have signed it, but it has opportunities for people, anybody to join Prince Reza Pahlavi's team from everywhere. So if you have an organization, you could register your organization with Prince Reza Pahlavi's team. If you have a media, by the way, Goldie, have you filled this? You should use this pink one. Atheist Republic, fill this one, the pink
Oh,
one.
really? Good,
So if
good.
you yeah, so you should go here, because anybody that has any form of media on YouTube or Twitter or anyone else, they could come here and basically submit their media and their ability to help Prince Reza Pahlavi here. This red one is from Iranians inside Iran. If they want to send secret information, if they have anything that they want to send from the government or from anything from the military to Prince Reza Pahlavi in a safe and secure and anonymous way, this is how they do it. This is for Iranians outside of Iran. If they want to join as individuals to be part of the team, they could do it here. And this is where people could send their suggestions and their methods and their criticism. They could send it here. So, and then it has so many other things, right? It has like, this is the update area where what's the latest thing that the Prince Reza Pahlavi's team has done. And you can see this, it has right at the top, Prince Reza Pahlavi's team's trip to Israel.
That's Gila Gamliel right there.
Yes, that's
right. So again, like this Haaretz like fake news article, they're basically using stuff like this. They're using this, legitimate cooperation between King Reza Pahlavi's team and the government of Israel to claim that Israel is, behind the Iranian opposition, right? So they're taking all of these like truths and they're twisting the narrative to fit their fake claim. And then they're claiming that this is coming from the study. But as we pointed out at the beginning of the stream, nowhere in the study do they ever talk about or mention Reza Pahlavi or his team in any way, shape, or form. But that's how Haaretz and then the leftists and the Islamists are using the study to promote their fake news narrative.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, let's just assume for just a second that the Haaretz article is correct. Okay, let's just assume Israel funded 50 accounts. They made these bots to go and support Prince Reza Pahlavi. Let's just assume that this is true. I think what Haaretz doesn't understand is that if that was true, and if that came out, that would make more Iranian people want to support Reza Pahlavi. Because what you're telling Iranian people is that the Israeli government you're advertising to more Iranian people that the Israeli government has officially recognized Prince Reza Pahlavi's revolutionary movement against the Islamic Republic. And so as an Iranian, you would ask yourself, is there any other revolutionary group right now against the Islamic Republic that has such a support of another country, not only any country, but a country with all the arms and all the know-how on how to fight the Islamic Republic? Like, this is actually an ad for Reza Pahlavi. You're telling me that Israel is supporting Reza Pahlavi this much? What other revolutionary force do we have against the Islamic Republic that has achieved this much for it to have this much of a support from Israel? Because one thing people need to understand, that if you are an Iranian, even if you don't like Reza Pahlavi that much, even if you don't like Israel that much, what you hate the most is the poverty, is the sanctions, is the constant war, is the Islamic Republic's imperialist agenda in the region. It's not having a normal life. It's having your currency becoming the least valued currency in the world. It's the embarrassment of being such a powerful country one day and being one of the worst today. These are, even if you don't like Pahlavi, and even if you don't like Israel, the average Iranian hates all of these things that I mentioned. The misery and the isolation and the bone-breaking poverty that is increasing every single day in Iran, not being able to fill up your fridge, not being able to pay for your medication. This is what they hate more than all this political drama regarding Pahlavi. Is Pahlavi be or good? Is it have did Israel commit genocide in Gaza or didn't? Okay. Like, I don't know. Many of these Iranians were not going to be able to, like, obviously it didn't, but for so many Iranians, they're too busy trying to survive to go research these things. What they can tell for sure is that my fridge is emptier than last year. That's what they can tell. Even if they can't tell whether or not Israel is evil or not, even if they can't tell if Pahlavi is evil or not, what they can tell is that my fridge is emptier than last year. And if you tell me that the only force in the world, which is Israel, let's say Israel is pure evil. What I know about Israel is that it's the only armed force in the world. It's the only force in the world that is armed and has the intelligence to be able to fight with the willing. It has the intelligence and the know-how and the willing to fight the Islamic Republic. You're telling me that that force is now united with the only force that has the highest backing of the Iranian people. So you have military, the best military force against the Islamic Republic, and the greatest people power, and the force with the branding, with the political support by Iranian people. These two forces are now uniting with each other. So you are basically signaling to the Iranian people that maybe the days of the Islamic Republic is actually over if these two forces are coming together. And another thing you're signaling to the Iranian people, that even if I don't like Israel, if I'm an Iranian, or if I don't think about Israel, what I do know is that all of these sanctions and all of these isolations and all of this poverty and all of these wasted resources is because my regime wants to destroy Israel. So you are telling me that Israel has found an alternative to the Islamic Republic that they can be friends with. Well, even if I don't like Pahlavi, given that Israel is supporting this guy, if Pahlavi is in power, what I could say at least is that all of this would be over. If Pahlavi, you're telling me that Israel supports Pahlavi. So if Pahlavi was in power in Iran, all of this isolation, all of these sanctions, because the world would see that we are not going to annoy you anymore. We're not going to threaten you anymore. Like, I don't care if Pahlavi is bad. I don't care if Israel is bad. I just want a government that is not going to go poke at all of these other countries so that they retaliate, and me as an average Iranian has to pay the price. That's what I want. I just want to live a normal fucking life like the rest of the people on the planet. That's what I want. So if Pahlavi is evil, but putting him in power and with the support of Israel will make me have a fucking normal life, then bring it on. I will support whatever evil powers that I have to be able to just live a normal fucking life. I don't know. I went on a rant. Sorry, that was long. What do you think? Right.
I mean, you kind of took it to the extreme hypothetical,
Right.
but I appreciate and I understand why, because that frustration is felt by every single Iranian inside of Iran and around the world, because we all want to live normal lives. You know, we want, and that's one of the things a lot of people don't understand. The vast majority of us, like we kind of live this dual life, right? Like for especially like for us who are outside of the country, you know, as Canadian citizens and as Canadians, we live like a normal life. But then we also have like the Iranian side where we have to be constantly afraid of a regime like an Islamic dictatorship that murders us, that imprisons us and our family members for speaking out. And when we talk about Iranian politics, we're not talking about things like education or healthcare or whatever. When we speak about Iranian politics, we're speaking about how many innocent Iranians did this brutal Islamic dictatorship murder today? How many of us are going to be murdered tomorrow? How many women did they, rape before they execute, right? Like just the most horrific thing. How many schoolgirls did they poison by chemical gas in schools today, right? Like these are the things that we speak about. Or, how many billions of dollars did the Islamic Republic give to Islamic terrorists in the Middle East and around the world, right? So I totally appreciate your frustration. Having said that, I mean, it's common knowledge. It's well known that the current Israeli administration is a big supporter of King Reza Pahlavi, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like when you look at the history of revolutions, no successful revolution ever happened without the support of a foreign government. Even when you look at the American Revolution, the Americans couldn't have done it without France, right? So we have this growing movement, and the reason that Israel supports our movement is because of the legitimacy that we have, is because of the numbers, and of course the policies, and what we stand for. So that Israeli support is there. But what this Haaretz article and the supporters of the Islamic Republic are doing is they are using this article to twist that narrative, right? So they're taking the truth and they're twisting it around. So what they are saying is that Israel supports the king by funding these fake accounts, and the support isn't actually real, right? So they're taking this truth and they're trying to twist it in order to make it seem as if the legitimate grassroots support for King Reza Pahlavi is something that's fabricated by Israel and that it doesn't actually exist. However, I think it's a little bit too late for them, because we have demonstrated, and by we, I mean Iranians, both inside of Iran and outside of Iran, we have demonstrated consistently for at least the last 10 years, if not more, that the support for King Reza Pahlavi is overwhelming, whether it's through independent studies, whether it's through messages, whether it's through movements, whether it's through demonstrations. I mean, King Reza Pahlavi was in Toronto just a few months ago speaking at an event, and the event was sold out. There were over 1,000 people at this event just to hear him speak. Did Israel pay for those 1,000 people to go and attend? I mean, I attended that event. I bought tickets for that event, right? I'm not an Israeli bot. No one is. So
Are you sure?
So it's in, I don't know. I still have to confirm are you a robot or not? I'll get back to you tomorrow. But this is how the Islamists and the leftists and the anti-Semites are trying to twist the truth in order to make it into something that it is not. But however, again, the good thing about this whole article is that it has not gained any traction in English media, right? It has not gained any traction where they thought it would. And again, that's because it's Haaretz, and Haaretz is like a trashy, I consider it like a tabloid, trashy magazine, and the author of that article is a big supporter of Nyack and constantly promotes
Yes.
and retweets Nyack propaganda, right? So, I mean, the connection is right there. So, every accusation that they make against Israel and against King Reza Pahlavi, to me, I view it as they are, it's a projection of their own culpability when it comes to their potential relationship with the Islamic Republic. So every accusation, to me, is an admission of guilt on their end.
Yeah, I mean, for example, is this the writer of the?
Yep.
Yeah. So who's this? This is the writer of the article that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Like the
One of
Haaretz
the two
article.
authors. Yeah, one of the two authors
One
of
of
the
the two
Haaretz
authors.
article.
And if you go look, he retweeted Nyack at some point.
Nyack. Yeah.
Wow. Pretty sure Iranians to rise up against their government while Israel was bombing. Oh no, this is a recent. Oh my god, he retweeted Nyack. Okay, so the author of the Haaretz article is actually a supporter of Nyack, which is crazy. That's insane. What the fuck? And then again, for people who don't know, Nyack is basically the Islamic Republic's propaganda arm in the United States. But I don't know if I actually made the link here for why this website by Prince Reza Pahlavi is. This is a big deal because this is what Iranians were waiting for, like basically getting. I don't know how you call Sazamandehi, basically coming up with institutionalizing. I don't know if that's the proper way of saying it in English, but basically getting everything in order, having everything in one place, having a lead, basically a place for Reza Pahlavi to give commands to Iranians and basically guide them in the right direction against the Islamic Republic. This is what we have been waiting for, and now finally it's ready. Like we saw Reza Pahlavi's team, his recent team doing so many good things when it comes to their connection with Israel, United States, their plan for the interim period after the Islamic Republic falls. Everything is in order. The one piece that was missing and many Iranians were waiting for is their leadership over with the Iranian people against the Islamic Republic. And this website, Iran رو پس میگیریم, this website is the answer to that. So all the resources are here, all the updates are here, all the requests here. So if you look at the resources section, you could actually see a guide on how to do protests into the streets. There's a PDF here, which is really great. It actually takes you through a whole bunch of tips regarding street protests, on the do's and don'ts, and it actually looks at historical protests and basically tries to learn from successful protests throughout history and lessons for history. It's like goes into all of that, so basically providing that to Iranian people. And because this website was such a big deal and it was very well received by Iranian people, it seemed like right when this website came in, they wanted to attack him again, because I think they can't stand that he's becoming more and more popular. So that's why we think maybe the timing, I'm not sure, maybe the timing has something to do with this website being released. Yeah. Let me see, we got some super chats. EG saying it's only read and made by Western anti-Semites, not really Israeli media. Haaretz, I mean, Israel is like, I mean, their authors are Israeli. I mean, this is not an attack on Israel to consider it Israeli media. It actually demonstrates the fact that it is Israeli media. I think it actually demonstrates Israel's freedom of expression. That you have so much free speech in Israel that you allow such a garbage publication come out and even say whatever it wants to say, even against your own country and against the interests of your country. It just shows that the dedication of your country to protecting freedom of expression. So it is Israeli media, but that's not to saying that is not anti-Israeli. It actually shows it's actually an advertisement of Israel's free speech. I mean, every country has its fair share of assholes and people with shit ideas. We can't expect Israel to not have that, right? Like it is I would consider it Israeli media, but that's not anti-Israel to say that though. And Nail Bunny is saying, great expos from Saeed Qasim Najad. So I
Oh,
think,
who did
is
he
this
put
what
out?
you're yeah, I'm gonna is this what you're referring to, Nail Bunny? Let me actually translate the post. By the way, Saeed Qasim Najad follows me. This is such a
Oh,
God,
okay.
yeah,
Does
I
he
had him
follow
as a
you?
guest. Yeah, I had him as a guest.
I know.
You
I
should.
saw that. It was a good interview you had with him.
Yeah, guys. So this is I'm gonna brag about having him on my show forever because if you guys don't know, Saeed Qasim Najad is basically Prince Reza Pahlavi's right hand man. He's like his number one advisor. That is his main man, right? That's why it was so great for me to have him on the show. So he's saying here, the closer the national revolution gets to victory, the more active the red and black reactionaries. Oh, for people who don't know, red and black is basically the red is the communist, that is the left, and black is Islam, because in Iran, Islam is black, not green, because our Islam is Shia, so our Islam is not green, our Islam is black. So the alliance between red and black is basically the alliance between the left and Islamists, right? So it's saying, so let's read this again. The closer the national revolution gets to victory, the more active the red and black reactionaries, their global allies, and their filth. Oh no, filth. Their fifth column. I was like, what the fuck? That's not like a. Their fifth column will become in attempting to destroy Prince Reza Pahlavi, and they will. What is this? Fail. I think it was trying to say they will fail. No, what is this? They will. I don't know what that is. Their arms and legs. Oh, flail their arms and legs even
Like
more.
they'll like
So
flail like yeah.
yeah, like that. Like that. Okay. This flailing is the struggling of a creature whose breath has been cut off and is nearing its end. And it is the duty of all of us to take our steps more firmly and to clasp our linked hands. By the way, guys, this is AI translation, so sorry about that. Our linked hands. So I think it means like holding hands. Linked hands more tightly, for at the end of this long battle, a glorious feast awaits Iran. So basically, I think his message is that, the reason why you see these Islamic forces and these leftist forces react like these with these type of articles is because we're winning, and they hate us because the national revolution is winning. They see us, they're basically jealous. That's actually true. They're noticing that they have so much support, international support, and the Iranian people's support, and basically they're angry, and this is why they're reacting like that.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's not just the Islamists that are reacting. It's also the communists and the
right,
Mujahideen and the Mustadiris and the far left, right? Like and that's the whole unholy alliance of the red and the black, and we're literally seeing that unfold today right before our very eyes. With you literally have these leftists who claim that they are human rights activists and they're fighting against the Islamic Republic. They are pushing
right,
this exact same blood libel, fake news propaganda promoted by Haaretz. So they've truly exposed themselves, and the Iranian people, they're not going to forget. If anything, this is, again, no one's taking the article seriously. The Islamists and the far left are trying desperately, but of course, no one pays attention to what the Islamists say. And the only thing this has done for the far left is that it has exposed themselves for the anti-Semites they are. And I can tell you that at least the Jewish community in Canada um, is paying attention. And some of these people with their disgusting tweets they've put out there, the Jewish community has taken notice of how these lefties have exposed their anti-Semitic ideologies.
right. Do you want to see some footage of robots in Iran?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here. This is a whole bunch of robots and the next to Ferdowsi's tomb in Iran, shouting
Yeah, this was
Reza
for
Reza.
this was for
This was for the New
Persian
Year.
New Year, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm assuming that given that Reza Pahlavi has no support and the support for him are just a whole bunch of bots. I mean, when I saw this on the Persian New Year, I assumed like, holy shit, these people are so brave. These many people on New Year basically shouting Reza Reza Pahlavi ine shoar milli, which means Reza Reza Pahlavi. This is our national chant. That's what this chant means. But apparently these are just bots. I didn't know Israel was so advanced to be able to. I thought they're just talking about internet bots because these are physical bots that look really close like to humans. um that's really advanced technology, Israel. I'm actually very impressed, so let's watch this. Oh, so the chant is that this is the final battle, Pahlavi will return. So guys, all of these are bots, by the way. Yeah, so the second chant was in a shorter melody, Reza Reza Pahlavi. Okay, so I mean, has there like have you seen Goldie? Have you seen, because I've seen so many protests in Iran where people mention Javid Shah, Reza Shah, Ruad Shah, ایران شده آماده، فرمان بده شاهزاده، رضا پهلوی، این شعار ملی، این آخرین نبرد پهلوی برمیگرده. So many chants of anti-government chants that is referring to Pahlavi and Prince Reza Pahlavi. Have you heard any chants of Iranian people mentioning anyone else? Like, has there been any chance in favor of anybody other than Prince
No.
Reza Pahlavi? No. Okay.
No. I have been monitoring the situation inside of Iran for a very long time. Especially on social media and all the videos coming out for years now, for years, and they have never ever um, said anyone else's name or chanted for anyone else. The only person
Right.
I would say who I've maybe heard once or twice is Ali Karimi. And the reason that people,
Right.
say Ali Karimi is because he is also a huge supporter
Support.
of King Reza Pahlavi. And
Right. Right.
he's a big Iranian hero. So, people will say, we support Ali Karimi and his message. And of course, his message is supporting King Reza Pahlavi. I've heard his name maybe once or twice, but the vast majority of the time, it's only ever Reza Pahlavi. And one of the things that I've said in my live streams or even like in my X spaces when I just do the audios only, and I'm speaking with people, is I always put out this challenge, especially to people who claim that Reza Pahlavi has no support. I'm like, okay, so let's assume he has no support. Who else is there? So
Right.
who is the leader of the opposition if it's not him? And up until this point, no person has been able to give me a name. They have not been able
Right.
to show me a single video of Iranians inside of Iran chanting anyone else's name or calling for anyone else. It simply does not exist.
Let's see.
And of course, they haven't been able to give the single name of any other alternative. And even King Reza Pahlavi himself, he has said, both in Farsi and in English several times, he has said, to those people who don't support me, you are more than welcome to create your own organization and put forward your own leader, and
Yeah.
let the Iranian people decide if they want that person or not. And yet no one has done that. No one has done that, and no one will do that, because these controlled opposition, fake opposition people know that no matter who they put out, that person is not going to be supported by the vast majority of Iranians. The studies show that over 80% of Iranians support King Reza Pahlavi and want him to not just lead the revolution to overthrow the Islamic regime, but to basically lead the transitional government that will transition Iran from a totalitarian Islamic dictatorship to a functioning democracy.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good point, because do you want the Islamic Republic to topple or don't you? And if you don't, then okay, well, then get the fuck out of the way. You're not with us. But if you do, then who do we have as an alternative to the Islamic Republic other than Prince Reza Pahlavi? It's not that he's the best. It's that he's the only option. Because when you say he's the best, it assumes that there is a second option for us to compare him to. There is no second option. He's the only option. And not only he's the only option, if you do want the Islamic Republic to topple, the main resistance that some people both inside Iran and outside of Iran have to toppling the regime, even though they're anti-regime, is that they're worried about the chaos after, right? So there are some Iranians and some foreigners who say, like, listen, it would be great if we could just snap our finger and the Islamic Republic will be gone. But we're worried about, civil war, chaos, all right? So, and that's why they're not supporting a revolution against the Islamic Republic. So if you want to get more people to support the revolution against the Islamic Republic, you need somebody who has the support of other countries. What better option than somebody that doesn't want to, annoy our neighbors and other countries in the region and U.S. interests in the region? Isn't the best person to have to signal to the world that, hey, we don't mean to basically attack you or cause you any problems or threaten the security of your civilians. We're going to be friends. We're going to be allies. Somebody that wants to have a good relationship with the United States, with Israel, and with every other country, with every single other country. Like, he's this. Like, what do you want? You want one of these Marxist left Leninists? All these people who are anti-Reza Pahlavi, they're also so-called anti-imperialists and anti-Zionists. So if they were the alternative, we would be back to square one. We would be back to another regime that Israel would look at as an anti-Israeli force in the Middle East, and the United States would see as another anti-American government against its interests in the Middle East, and we would just be back to square one. If you want the Islamic Republic to fall and everything to happen peacefully, and all our neighbors and all the forces in the region to be like, okay, we can relax now, you need somebody that wants to be an ally with them, that is already signaling that we mean you no harm, that we could be allies, that we could be friends. And who has done that more effectively than Prince Reza Pahlavi? Because the best way to show to the whole world that we are not going to be a terroristic government is to be an ally of Israel, because that's the most powerful signal. Like, if you are saying, if you bring a government that wants to even normalize relationship with the United States and China and Russia and Qatar and Saudi Arabia and Turkey and Iraq and everyone else, but not Israel, then people are like, oh, look at that. Like, oh, this is still the same ideology. These are still the same people. But when you come and when you have somebody that wants a good relationship with Israel, why would any other country be different? The most taboo country right now to have a normal relationship with is Israel. So if Reza Pahlavi's main focus is to recognize Israel and also be friends with Israel, then all the other countries can feel safe. This is
100%. And
yeah.
I think one of the reasons why this Haaretz article is attacking him, and now all of the Islamists and the leftists are attacking him, is because he made it very clear in the emergency booklet that him and his team put out, for the first sort of 100 days of the transition, is they made it very clear that one of the first things that the transitional government is going to do is it's going to normalize relations with Israel and the United States, and it's going to once again formally recognize the state of Israel, just like it was the policy of Iran prior to 1979. So this is again one of the other reasons why the Islamists and the leftists are severely attacking King Reza Pahlavi right now and trying to attack his legitimacy, because he has made it very clear exactly what's going to happen, which is the will of the vast majority of the Iranian people. Is we don't want war with Israel. We don't want war with the United States. We're sick and tired of this Islamic jihadi nonsense that's been pushed out by the Islamic Republic, that has nothing to do with us as Iranians, has nothing to do with our identity or our culture or our heritage when it comes to United States and of course Israel. So that's why they're so threatened, because they're threatened by the fact that we want to normalize relations with Israel. We want to put an end to Islamic terrorism in the Middle East. We want to stop funding all these Islamic terrorist groups. And they don't like that, because once Iran is free, they're going to lose their paycheck.
Yeah. Nikki in the chat is saying Armin cannot fill the gap in his heart. I mean, the gap in my heart is filled with blood. That's what it's supposed to be filled with. No? I don't know. But that's actually, Goldie, this is actually true. This has always been the case. If any society or any group of people who ally themselves, who are allies of the Jews, either globally or within their society, they have been on the right side of history. And because usually whenever a society or a country turns hateful, it's always the Jews first. So if you can demonstrate that you're not going to be anti-Jewish, you're actually demonstrating that you're not going to be anti any group of other people as well. It's the best way to signal that you're not going to be an evil government, or you're not going to basically take people, you're not going to oppress people, you're not going to take people's rights away, you're not going to be dictatorial. The best way to demonstrate that is how you treat the Jews. Any society, that usually it's the Jews that are the first to go. And basically, so if you're a friend of Israel, you could actually demonstrate that we're going to be friendly with all other countries as well. We did get another super chat from Nail Bunny saying, Resist Tutor _Iran has debunked it on Twitter. Okay, so people, you could go check if you want that. By the way, I just want to advertise, because so guys, there are 1,600 people watching Goldie's live stream right now on Twitter, but only 11 on YouTube. So you Twitter people need to go and subscribe to her YouTube channel, and you guys on my YouTube as well. Okay, so guys, I put the link of Goldie's YouTube channel again in the chat. Please, please, please go and support her, because she has the only reason why she has low subscribers. Yeah, go on.
Well, I haven't really used YouTube too much. I'm getting into that, so I appreciate you promoting. But for everyone watching, I do my live streams 2 hours before Armin does his. So he does his normally at 2 p.m. Eastern. I do mine at 12 p.m. Eastern. So it doesn't really cross over. So if you want the pre-show to Armin's streams at 2 p.m., you can join my live stream to get warmed up. And who knows, maybe once in a while Armin might join my live streams, and I might join his. So I think we might do a little bit more of these collabs here. So
so
I'm
guys,
starting to get into live, and all because you convinced me to do live streams. So now I'm starting to get into live streams and learn more about them.
Yeah, so guys, Goldie has a huge following on X or Twitter. She just only now is getting into the YouTube live streams, so just try to increase her presence on YouTube as well. Again, I'll put her link to her YouTube one more time in the chat. It's also in the description. You could just warm up there for the live stream that we're going to have here on this channel, because it's going to be before this one. Yeah, so go just warm up there. Yes, and so now let's just end the stream. But I just wanted to thank Haaretz. Oh wait, hold me. I'm saying I talked about Iran and Reza Pahlavi today. Oh, good job, Amit. Thank you. Reza, you mean?
I think he probably means Reza.
Reza Pahlavi. Who's Reza Pahlavi? It's a I was like, his knowledge of the Pahlavi family is bigger than me. I don't know who this Reza Pahlavi is. Wow, that's but thank you. So I just wanted to thank this Haaretz article because they unknowingly are demonstrating to the world. Basically, they're advertising to the world that Israel supports Pahlavi. Okay, and this is actually what we need. This is what we actually need to tell more people, that Israel is supporting Pahlavi. And the only revolutionary force right now against the Islamic Republic that has the support of any other government is Prince Reza Pahlavi. So the support is not in the way that Haaretz mentioned. It's not in the way that Haaretz mentioned, but it doesn't matter. It's true that Israel is supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi. And we need to advertise that. So thank you, Haaretz, for giving us an opportunity. I mean, thank you, but also fuck you, because that was not your intention. But thank you for giving us an excuse to talk about Reza Pahlavi more. We appreciate that. What?
And also, thank you for
Alright,
helping us to expose the progressive left and the anti-Semites as well, because that's the only
yes.
thing they've done is they've exposed themselves. It's made our lives and our jobs easier as well, because now they're promoting that those anti-Semitic Israeli tropes, which makes it easier because we already know who they are. We can identify them, but it's just made it easier for us to show non-Iranians who their real enemies
Right.
are. So,
Okay.
thank you for that as well.
Fine. All right, guys. Don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to go and subscribe to Goldie's YouTube channel. Again, link is in the description. And until next show, I'm Israel Chai, Javid Shah. Bye, guys.
Bye.